Good day everyone, I hope I find you well. Now today we are going to look at cubic polynomials, how to interpret a cubic graph when it is sketched. Let's look at it. Question number 9. The sketch below represents the curve of f of x is equals to x cubed plus bx squared plus cx plus d. When we are discussing cubic polynomials, you know that the general one, in general, this should be f of x is equals to ax cubed plus bx squared plus cx then plus d. However, here we already have an indicator that a is equals to 1. Now, looking at this, the solutions of the equation f of x is 0, f of x equals to 0 are minus 2, 1, and 4. Now, when we are being given this, when they say solutions, it means that this cubic polynomial equated to 0 will give us the x value. So in other words, we are saying x is equals to minus 2. We are saying from this statement there, we are saying x is equals to 2, x is equals to 1, and x is equals to 4. Now, so the first question, this is the graph that we are given, that has a maximum turning point at B and a minimum turning point at this point here. Then calculate the values of B, C, and D. Now, how do we do that? So to come up with this, we are given these values here, which are representing the x-intercepts. 1, 2, 3. So this should be the one that is negative 2. Sorry, there's a negative here. So this is the one that is negative 2. This one should be the one that is 1. And this one should be 4. So what it means is f of x is equals to, if it is x minus 2 here, it means that it has to be x plus 2 before solving the equation. Then here it's x equals to 1, it should be x minus 1 here. Then here should be x minus 4 here is equals to 0. This is what somebody solved and got us these x-intercept values. So this is exactly what I'm going to use. I'm going to say x minus 2 here, x plus 2 I mean, then x minus 1, then x minus 4. Now I'm going to expand this. The reason why in most cases you find that they put a here at this point. The reason why I'm not putting a here is because already we are given, or it is hinted to us, that a is equals to 1. So there's no need for us to worry about putting an a here. Now all I need now is to expand this part. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. So expanding this, we have to put x plus 2 as it is at this point. Then here, x times x, that's x squared minus 4x minus, so it's x minus 4x, then minus x here, then also plus 4. Now this will come down to x plus 2, then x squared minus 4 minus x, that's minus 5x, then here plus 4. Now I have to multiply also everything in this bracket, in the first bracket here, with everything in the next bracket. So again, I have x times x squared, which will give me x cubed here, then minus 5x squared here, then plus 4x, then plus 2x squared, then minus 10x, then plus 8. Now the expansion is done. What I need is to simplify. This reduces to x cubed minus 5x squared plus 2x. This will give me minus 3x squared here. Then 4x minus 10. This will give me negative 6x. Then plus 8. So my f of x is equals to this. Therefore, my b is equals to minus 3. My c is equals to minus 6. And my d is equals to 8. Now, this is exactly what we needed. So we have found f of x to be x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8. Now, at this point now, what we need is to see, I managed to sketch this graph to see exactly if we sketch this graph, does it cut the x-axis at x equals to minus 2, x equals to 1, and x is equals to 4. So let me show you that sketch here quickly, and we discuss what is happening there. Now, so here goes the graph. If you look at this graph here, I sketched the equation x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8, which is the equation that we found there when we did the calculation. And it is cutting at minus 2 here, at 1 and 4, which means it is satisfying those values that are given in the sentence. And it has a maximum turning point at this point and at this point here. Now the question that is coming up next wants us to find the coordinates. It wants us to determine the coordinates of B, which is the maximum turning point. The question says that calculate the coordinates of B, the maximum turning point. Now, this question here, they want us to find the coordinates of B, and here lies B. B is at this point. So, if B is here, it's maximum turning point. When we read this question, I once said that each time we read a sentence, there should be a word or words that guide us to what is required. How do we even find a turning point? So, those who have been following the notes I once gave out, at a turning point, we know that f prime of x should be equals to 0. So, here's what we are going to do. If we have found our f of x to be x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x then plus 8. So, f prime of x is equals to, you get here 3x squared minus 6x then minus 6. Now at a turning point, we said that 3x squared minus 6x minus 6 should be equals to 0. Now here we are dealing with a quadratic equation. I can simplify this by dividing everything by 3 there, since 3 is a common factor for all. Now here it becomes x squared minus 2x minus 2 is equals to 0. Now at this point factorization is limited, so I can use the quadratic formula. X is equals to minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now I need to perform substitution. Let me use a different pen for that. So if I'm to substitute there, I have a negative for the formula, but my b is this one, it has a negative 2, then plus or minus the square root of minus 2 squared minus 4, a is 1, c is my c is positive, is negative 2 at this point. That's right. Then all over 2 by 1. If we are to punch this in a calculator, we are going to get two values. The other one is x is equals to negative 0.75. Then the other value, let me punch quickly again. So that's minus 2 squared plus the square root of okay, that's negative 0.75, and the other one is 2.73. X is equals to 2.73. Let me double check again if what I did here is right. Okay, that's negative 0.7. Negative 0.73 here. Okay, let me put a 3 here. All right, negative 0.73. So after getting the negative 0.73, we now need to find the y value. Since it's a turning point, we need coordinates. Whenever they mention a point is denoted by xy. So now we need to find what is the value of y when we have 0.73. So we are substituting in the original equation here. So we are going to say wherever there is x, I put minus 0.73 cubed minus 3 by negative 0.73 squared minus 6 negative 0.5 73, then plus 8. If you punch this in a calculator, you get 10.39. Okay, so the coordinates at B can be found as negative 0.373 and 10.39. The reason why I rounded to 2 decimal places is because of what the instructions say. The instructions they give us here, the question did not specify, so under the instructions you find out that they say when necessary or when not specified, round off to 2 decimal places. So that's exactly what I used here. So this question at this point, these 4 marks could be collected. Now they are saying determine the equation of the equation to the tangent of f at x equals to -1. Now at this point there is something we need to remember, something that we discussed in the notes. If I am to give a sketch, I'm going to sketch something, then I'll give you the notes that we discussed. Let's say I have a sketch like this. Then if this is a tangent, sorry about that one, let me sketch a real tangent there, somewhere here. Let's say this is a tangent, it's touching once. Now the notes, in the notes we have we discussed that this can also be a tangent. At this point here, the gradient of the function, gradient of the curve, will be equals to the gradient of the tangent. This is something you have in the notes. The gradient of the function or the curve will be equals to the gradient of the tangent at the point of touch, where these two touch there, they have the same gradient. So if we are to determine the equation of a tangent at the graph to the graph of f at x equals to -1, now there are words we need from here. Determine the equation of the tangent. A tangent is this part is defined as a line that touches the curve once. So whenever I hear this question, it means I need to find the equation of a line, which simply means we need to find y is equals to mx plus c. That's something to remember. This m here representing the gradient. However, I just explained at this point that the gradient of the function is the same as the gradient of the curve at the point x equals to -1. Now, so if f of x is equals to x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x and plus 8, then the gradient of a curve is given by the first derivative. This is the gradient. Now, is equals to, if we differentiate, we get 3x squared minus 6x minus 6. So the gradient at x equals to -1, we get this gradient to be, this is now gradient at a point. If you check the notes, we have grad at a point. You just calculate the gradient and substitute the point. You have 3 here, -1 squared minus 6 minus 1, then minus 6. This will give me +3, positive, this one will give me, okay, this one will give me +6, then minus 6. So the gradient is 3 plus 6, that's 9, minus 6, that's 3. Therefore, the equation becomes y is equals to 3x then plus c. Now, to find the c, we want to find the equation of a line that is passing through a point. They gave us x to be -1. So we want to determine what is the value of y when x is -1. So when x is -1 here, we are saying, remember, f of x is equals to x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8. Then f of -1, I want to find the value of y there. That's -1 cubed minus 3 minus 1 squared minus 6, then minus 1 here, then plus 8. Now if we simplify this, this one is -1, and this one will give me -3, this one will give me +6, this one will give me +8. So at this point we have -4 plus 6, that's 2, plus 8, that's 10. So I'll get 10 at this point. So the tangent is passing through, tangent passes through, it passes through the point minus 1, 10. So therefore, y is equals to 3x plus 10. If a line passes through a point, it means the point satisfies the equation. It satisfies the equation, which means here I can put 10 is equals to 3. Remember, these are coordinates. This is x, this is y. So here I can put minus 1, then plus c. Sorry, this part should be plus c. Now plus c here. Then it's 10 is equals to minus 3 plus c. Therefore, 13. If the 3 crosses to the, okay, let me do it. 10 plus 3 is equals to c. Therefore, c is equals to 13. Now, so we can now conclude that the equation of the line, therefore, in conclusion, therefore, y is equals to 3x plus 10. This becomes the equation of the tangent. So I can add this equation of the tangent to the graph that we already seen, and we see if it touches exactly at the point we discussed. So we found y is equals to 3x plus 10, not plus 10 but plus 13. Sorry about that. Let me change that a bit. It's plus 13, not plus 10. So here it's plus 13. Now here goes the graph. So from what we are seeing now, we can see that, okay, this is really a tangent. The line is touching the curve once at x is equals to minus 1. At x equals to minus 1, the graph, the straight line is touching there once. That's what we can see from this. So here we have found the equation of the tangent. That's all we needed from this question. Equation of a tangent, that means equation of a straight line. So we have answered this question. Now, the next thing that the question required was, okay, they asked about us to sketch the graph of the second derivative. So if we now want to answer 9.4 here. For 9.4, we can say that f of x is equals to 3, sorry about that, it's x cubed minus 3x squared minus 6x plus 8. So first derivative, it reduces to 3x squared minus 6x minus 6 plus a 0 if you differentiate a constant. Then second derivative should be equals to 6x minus 6. So you need to see that this is cubic, this one is quadratic, and this one is a line. So there is a relationship there. First derivative gives you a parabola, second derivative gives you a line. So for a line, to sketch a line, we need to find the y-intercept, which exists when x is equals to 0. So it means y will be equals to 6 if this part is 0. Then you need to find the x-intercept, which exists when y is equals to 0, which means you're going to say 0 is equals to 6x minus 6, which will give you x equals to 1. These are the points you just need to come and sketch on your graph. I'm not going to do this. Most of you are familiar with sketching of a straight line. So after having these points, you can just join the points. If you join 2 points, you have formulated a line. Then there is this question which says, for which values of x is f of x concave up? Is concave up? So when we discuss concave up, for concave up, this is now 9.5. Concave up means that the second derivative at a given point, the second derivative should be greater than 0. Remember, the second derivative should be greater than 0 because this one gives us a minimum. If we are to discuss turning points, this one gives us a minimum turning point. So for concave up, we are looking at the part where this is happening, where the tangents are under the graph, are below the function. So we have already found the second derivative here, f prime prime of x to be equals to 6x minus 6. So for concave up, it means we are going to say, it means that 6x minus 6 should be greater than 0. So it means 6x minus should be greater than 6. You can divide. In the notes we said you deal with inequalities the same way we deal with equations. So here, except for one rule, if you divide both sides by of an inequality by a negative, let's say we have something like this, 9 is greater than 6 is true. If I divide by a negative, now I have to reverse the inequality. So here, I just divided by a positive, and I got x is greater than 1. So here, x is greater than 1 represents the values which are causing concave up. And I can quickly show you from the graph we sketched if this is true. Now, here is the graph that we looked at. X is greater than 1. We are taking all points from here going in this direction. And surely, at this point, our graph is a minimum turning point, and it is concave up. So guys, I thank you so much for this one. Continue watching and practicing with different papers. I'll come again with a different question, a different paper, and follow the steps. I hope this will help. Thank you so much.